Right, well, I'm about ready to put this engine back together now. Got the new gasket and the oil seals arrived. But before I do, I just thought I'd just double check, for no other reason that I can, that now I've done all the drilling out, that the actual plate itself is flat and square, and it won't it's not warped. I bought this rather grandly called surface plate many years ago from a chap, which in actual fact is a piece of 1/4 inch float glass, and that's more than capable or born flat enough for what I need. So all I've done, I've popped the flange with the face obviously down, and then to make sure that there's no movement, no wobbling, and you can see that is absolutely square. If it would been out, what I would have done is, let's just move that out of the way. I would have used probably some of this, where are we? Paper here. There's 320 grit, 150 grit, and I normally go around to about 1,000 to start off with, or at least then to get going. There we are, 1,000 grit. There we go. Just to show you, because obviously it's wet and dry. I can lay this on the surface plate, or even maybe on the piece of timber. I don't really want to get anything wet in there if I can help it. But then just by moving the piece of work around, I can then flatten off and be happy that I've got the flange itself nice and square. So we're about ready now to reassemble the engine. And here's the new gasket, which turned up from Briggs Parts. I get a lot of parts from them. I find them very, very helpful guys. And I wasn't sure about the part number, and they came up with the correct one for me. And together with the oil seal. The oil seal obviously goes on there. And I will replace that onto the plate before we go much further. What I will say is, I'm a great fan when I fit these gaskets to this stuff, gasket cinch. All our American friends, I'm sure, would know about this stuff. I'm a huge fan of this stuff. It seems to go on forever, but it's like a gasket glue, for want of a better word. And by painting it onto the surface, I can then stick the gasket down in the correct position, and it will hold it in its right place. And it also helps produce actually its own seal. The secret of it is to just put it onto both surfaces, allow it to dry or tack dry, and stick it on it. We ain't going to go anywhere. What I use, and there'll be several faces smiling about this now, one of these extended cotton buds. Because the actual pad on the gas cinch application brush is huge, all I really want to do is smear it on. This is absolutely ideal. So we're going to get on and do that, and I'll show you the result in a moment in 3 shakes of a lamb's tail. There we go. So that's coated on the actual machine itself, and I'm just making sure I covered all the. It's actually quite easy to see if it's on there, because it seems to show up any dry patches. And then you can see that's going off already. It's brilliant stuff as far as I'm concerned. That's going really quite tacky already, so we're nearly ready for that to all be. You can see the use of one of these buds. So that's nearly ready to go on. Obviously I need to make sure it's up around the right way, which I have, I believe. So all I need to do now is to peel it off and get the whole thing on. And that's where the fun starts. Obviously, if I've managed to stick it down, there's always going to be a problem there, but however, it peels off quite straightforwardly. There we go. So let's get it on in place, in the right place, before it goes completely pear-shaped, like so. See how easy it is to stick it down, get it in the right place. So when it's on there, that ain't going to move, and we can quite happily put all that together now, knowing that the gasket is in the right place. I think you'd all agree we ain't far out. There we go. All in the right place. By the way, I drilled out this other mounting hole on the body to 10mm. I've got to mention that when we were reworking the mounting holes on the plate. So I want to make sure absolutely in the right place. There we go. I'm happy with that. Should produce a good seal, and of course, by then doing exactly the same, only with the plate, the flange, the end plate, we know we've got a good seal. We've got a good gasket. Here's the old seal. As you can see, it didn't want to come out. It didn't want to play, but brute force and ignorance got it out. I'm very lucky, actually. I've got a press that I can now put the new one in, so I'll just show you that. Bear with me 2 seconds. All I need to do, I've just mounted up the flange and ready for the press. Popped it in, and then we'll just drive it down. Lucky enough, the press working end is exactly the right size for the oil seal as it goes in. Don't want to kill it, so we'll just take it out, lift it up a little bit just to make sure we've gone in. I think we need to go in a little bit more. I'm just looking so it bottoms out. Obviously I don't want to force it. If it's got 10 ton of pressure here, it would completely muller it. So I just need to be a little bit careful. I've cleaned up the faces. So this will just go in nice and even. Much better this than knocking it in if you're going to have lucky enough to have one of these presses. It goes in. That feels like it's bottomed out. Let's have a look, see. Just a little bit more. Slowly, slowly catchy monkey, as they say. Don't do any damage. I'm very good at overdoing stuff. I think we got about another 1/8 of an inch to go in. So what's we? I think that's it. We're there. Lift it up, and that's bottomed out quite nicely. Excellent. Well pleased with that. Well done. Just want to show you now the 2 timing marks. You see the dot on the main crankshaft, and it lines up perfectly, as you can see. There's the governor gear set in place, and that's all then gets supported once the flange goes on in the correct position. So here we go. Right, so new seal is in place. Now I do like to use assembly lube. I must admit, it's to me it just makes sense. However, I still need to address this face of the gasket. Let's get another another famous cotton bud. So this time I'm going to just do the face of the flange itself of the. So let's get some more. There's some jollop. I don't know if you can actually see it. It's quite sticky old stuff actually. It's quite amazing stuff. It really is. I sing its praises a lot. I know I do, but it's really it does make life so much easier, in my opinion. We all know what opinions are. Opinions are like bottoms. Everybody has one. That might get taken out by YouTube, but hey ho, never mind. Just to smear it on. There's no need to put a huge amount of this stuff on, because believe you me, it's on first time only. You don't get a second choice with this thing. It's just as well, I guess. Here we go. So by the time you got round doing the whole thing, it's starting to go off. Now remember, we've had quite a lot of problems with this tool. This has been a bit of a pup, to be fair, but it's been worth doing. I know I've put far too much time and certainly far too much money into this particular mower. However, once you get to the point of no return, you then literally have no options. And of course, the other thing is I don't actually have anything else here in the shop I can work on, because, well, to be honest with you, around here in my area, people seem to either know the value of mowers or want too much money for them. I like to think it's the other way around. So the other thing now, of course, we need to get some assembly lube on this thing, and I use again this Lucas assembly lube. Again, I think this comes from America. I must be half American here, you know, guys. However, they just make the right stuff for the job, and it's a case. It's weird stuff actually. It's quite sort of sticky, so it sticks to the job rather than just runs away. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it all on the shaft there. So it gives the shaft half a chance, or at least the job half a chance, when it first starts up, that it's lubricated. And then again, there we go, onto the seal itself. I hope you're getting most of this because it's on a one-off job. So what I've made sure is now that the there we go. I want to make sure that the governor gear is in the right position, which it is. I'm now going to attempt a one-off job of sliding this all on, mounting it all together, making sure, of course, I got it around the right way, which is, at the moment, I have no idea. Let's have a look, see. Boom, 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 boom. 3 holes at the bottom, there we go. So, slide in. Just ease it in position. Try to find the place in the hope that I've got it in the right place. Doesn't feel correct at the moment. Let's have a look. This is live. This should go. There has to be a reason that doesn't want to fit. Ah, nope. Be back with you in a minute. Okay, so a bit of a fiddle, but I got it all back together again. At least I think I have. I'm a bit concerned here about the governor moving around, but we'll see. I looked it up, and apparently the plate should be tightened down to 90 inch pounds. So that's what I've set this torque wrench to. This was, I think I set this 88.85. Yeah, so plus. Just take that down a tad. Don't want to over tighten these things. That'll be enough. So let's just torque this down. Okay, so all back together, and I've torqued down all 7 bolts. 90 inch pounds, or it's 10.2 newton meters. Well, 10 newton meters. All tacked down there now. Everything's back together. I can see there don't look like to be any problems. For a change, at least. Oil seals in place. Perhaps it's just me being a bit awkward. I just wonder about the governor. I don't see how I can go back together without being in the right place, to be honest with you. But there we go. There's some all back together again. No doubt that will become apparent once the engine goes together. So there we go. Engine all back together. New oil seals. Mounting bolts drilled out. Now what we do is get the whole thing back together again. Now the body itself, or the deck, was sent off today to be powder coated. So whilst I wait for that, I'll get on and find another job to do. Catch you later. Bye-bye.